David, the Tiger Roll story really began, certainly for the public on this side of the water, when you won the Triumph Hurdle on him. And you kind of did it very easily that day.
Yeah, an extraordinary horse.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
So he's won 3 at Cheltenham. He won the 4-miler, the cross country, and the Triumph. Note that you only on one of them, but go on. Yeah, he won it easy that day.
Yeah, he did. He won very easy travel. I remember, unfortunately, Ruby got a very bad fall,
yeah.
and he went on and went on and done the business. And then myself and Tiger Roll lost touch for a couple of years, and he kept showing his exploits. And
but when that day when he won the Triumph, he's just a little rabbit of a thing. You could turn him through a packet of polo mints. You never thought this is a superstar chase for the future.
No,
not in a million years.
You would imagine that his career was kind of going to stay over hurdles, anyway, for sure. But you never imagine him heading towards Aintree the way he did, you know.
And let's go to Aintree, because I think it was one of the most joyful days racing I remember, and the horse already had a massive following, and that turned him into a sort of cult figure. Take me through the race, or take me through the build-up. What's it like before the race on a day like that? They say the quiet men get noisy and the noisy men get quiet.
Yeah, I was quiet.
Well, yes, because you're noisy usually.
Excuse me, looking back on it, I had, when you're riding in the Grand National, you want to be down the inside for the canal turn, you want to be a little bit out for Beaches Brook, you want to be here, there and everywhere, you want to be crossing the Mellon Road, you want to take a breather, and I said, no, not this year. I'm lining down the middle and just going to let him do whatever he wants to do. And the first circuit, down to the first, actually going to the start, we're doing a parade and we're walking down, and his lass is leading him up. And next thing, out over the intercom, we have Tiger Roll ridden by the oldest jockey in the race. And I said, well, that's the end of that anyway. So
somebody hand you a Zimmer from
the
crowd. Yeah,
so I let him canter away down to the start, and you know, he's a character. He spooks and he ducks and he dives and he does all of this, and he hasn't huge respect for much. He does what he wants to do, and if he wants to bulldoze, he'd bulldoze, and if you know, but for some reason,
like yourself, really.
Yeah, for some reason he went down, and I knew. When he saw the first fence, as we show him the first fence, he just said, this is different. So I said, but this is a good sign for him. And so we turned around, we went back to the start and just got into my position, and off we went down to the first. And his speed from takeoff to landing was unbelievable. So he just took off, bang, down the line, and we're heading for Beaches Brook. And usually you hear these, the lads that are riding good lepers leave a shout, hey, here she comes. So, you know, and you see the hedges come up, and there's a hedge, and you see it coming along on the corner of your eye, and he just went down to Beaches Brook, and Danny Cook was in front of me, and he was jumping lovely, so I was happy to follow him, and down, and Danny Cook's horse fell. Now, I could see him falling just as Tiger Roll was put his feet down on the ground, but I could do nothing about it because I was old man back here, feet on the dashboard, down, and the minute Tiger Roll put his 2 front feet on the ground, he'd done a little dance left, just like Brian O'Driscoll or someone, just done a little fade left, and just to make sure that I stayed on his back, he went back to where we were. So if he had to keep going left, I was going to go straight on, but he'd done a little dance left and back, so we were back in business, and off we went along. Nothing, wasn't doing anything, just travelling, nothing, not more or less or anything like that. He was just, everything was going fine. I was happy enough with who was around me, the horse were around me, and just head on down to the chair, and again avoided a little bit of a schmozzle at the chair. Took a chance at the water, typical him, smallest fence on the track, and just got to the back of the water, and then we all gathered our thoughts again and headed out for another round of the madness. going along down, and a long way out I could see the Lunamis arrows for Beecher's Brook. So I knew that we were bypassing Beecher's Brook, and I changed my course earlier than maybe that, and we went around Beecher's Brook. I got a lovely run around. I remember Harry Cobden was on my inside, and I was happy, you know, we were all went around smoothly. Sometimes you can get a bit of a knocking effect, but it didn't, it just went smoothly. And
but then you'd seen it early.
I'd seen it early, and I'd got into the position. I could just see the Lunamis signs, which was brilliant. And heading down along the line, and I started to meet fences on a good stride. But with Tiger, you have to sit on your backside and say, that's the one we want. And he just kept responding, and crossing the Melling Road, I was where I wanted to be. I had 2 or 3 horses in front of me. We've a long way to go yet. I don't want anything to change anything. And when I decided I was where I wanted to be, he just turned off the engines and got a little bit sleepy on me. And I said, you know, I don't want him to it's going to be hard to get him going when he's tired. So I want him to be alive with me for back on the bridle. So I went to join David Mullins down to the second last, early enough now, to be honest. And just got to the other side of the second last, and we're still upsides down to the last, and 20 strides away, I'm meeting this on a perfect stride. All I have to do is keep going forward, and again, just straight down to the last, and bang, gone at the back of it, 4 lengths clear. The job is OXO. I'm coming to the elbow. I'm still going to win the Grand National, and then all of a sudden he says, "I've enough," and he just starts to get a bit slower, and I start saying, "Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on," and I could hear the crowd getting louder and louder and louder and louder and louder, and I knew there was something coming. I didn't think it was David Mullins because I thought he was done. I knew I would be guilty of something coming from behind. So just on the line, this horse went bang, and I said, I'm after just up the Grand National. I just have to throw it away. And everyone I met on the ground said, similar to the Gold Cup, you won it. I said, I can't have won it. I saw way too much horse go by me. And actually one of the thoughts that came into my head was, the oldest jockey in the race, I'm not going to get another chance. This is it. This is my chance. And just when the commentator called it out, winner of the Grand National, I just thought, my God, what are we after doing? You know, and it took an extraordinary horse to do it, with his profile. Growing up as a chap, you don't win the Grand National on 15-3 ex-flat horses, Triumph Hurdle, and I am the biggest critic of the Triumph Hurdle. And now here is me sitting on the back of Tiger Roll, walking and eating humble pie. It's the best race that's ever ran at the festival now. It's the best introduction to a Grand National that you can get. But it just took all them special pieces of the puzzle just to come in to click. And again, Chickenstown, like, they've been so good to me through my career. And Michael is so much on national hunt racing, and to get that was, especially for Michael and Anita, and they were all there, and the kids and Eddie. And
he was ecstatic, Michael, you know. I've never seen him as energised on a race.
Yeah, and he was brilliant. He was brilliant. He just, you know, that was it, you know, yeah. It was a fabulous day, and again, we just hovered back to the airport, yeah.
And that little dance at Beecher's first time, looking after himself and you, probably clinched things early in the day.
Exactly. Yeah. He could have just looked after himself and gone off.
And let the old man fall off.
Yeah, but no, he back in as if he knew exactly what he was doing. He did know what he was doing.
Yeah, and it goes on the tombstone, rider of a Grand National.
Yeah.
That's something to remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Cheers, Dave.